Welcome back to Capitol Review. House Republicans passed their multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks package, and Speaker Mike Johnson defied skeptics within his own party, passing the bill by a narrow 215 to 214 to 1. Last-minute concessions and a warning from President Trump appeared to win over the holdouts on the big, beautiful bill. The outcome marks an intense time on Capitol Hill with days of private negotiations and public committee hearings. Congressional Budget Office says that tax provisions would add nearly $4 trillion to federal deficits. It now heads to the Senate, where it's expected to face major pushback.
Did not believe that we could succeed in our mission to enact President Trump's America First agenda. But this was a big one, and once again, they have been proven wrong.
And joining Capitol Review is Professor Casey Burgat. He is the director of the Legislative Affairs program at the Graduate School of Political Management for George Washington University. Professor, welcome to Capitol Review.
Thanks for having me.
We're always glad to have you. And President Trump, of course, he walked the halls of the U.S. Capitol earlier in the week. It doesn't happen often, but not a surprise. What's your take?
That you call in the boss when the boss is needed. The visits from the White House up to Capitol Hill, presidents usually think of it as, I don't go to them, they come to me. And so when you see him going up there, that's a signal that they need to rally support behind something where right now, if they put it on the floor, there wouldn't be enough votes to pass. So you get them all in the room, you get the leader of your party telling them just how important it is, not only for the agenda that they promise the American people, but for their own individual re-elections. That if you cross me now, the president, then that loyalty is going to stop from my end back to yours. So this is a rally around the Trump effect, and we're going to do this where you all sit within the halls of the Capitol.
Professor Burgat, does this put Speaker Mike Johnson in a tough position, or is this what he signed up for? Is it his job to support the president and get others to fall in line?
I don't think Mike Johnson has had a comfortable day since he was elected Speaker a couple years ago. And this is not an indictment on Johnson himself, but more just the realities of the position of Speaker, given that they have a 3-seat majority and a lot of differing opinions within the caucus itself. So he has to navigate the hardline Trump MAGA conservatives and then those more moderate Republicans who, if you give them one side something, you're going to lose something from the other side. And they know full well that Democrats aren't going to help them pass their agenda. So his job is a difficult one, which is why we saw it fail with Kevin McCarthy before him, John Boehner, Paul Ryan. This has been the same dynamic and even smaller majorities now. But yes, to answer your question, his job is to pass the Trump agenda within the House of Representatives. That is what his membership elected him to do. That is what the American people want him to do, at least on his side of the aisle, and it's his job to rally around all those frogs, put them in the wheelbarrow, and just push forward to get something done.
What does this mean for the Republican Senate majority?
Good question. And now the conversation, after they passed this reconciliation side on the House floor this morning, this is now the conversation is going to kick over to the Senate, where they have a different dynamic, not only because the institution is a little bit different, but it's smaller, they have a wider base of opinions, and that they have a really a more secure majority heading into 2026 than the House Republicans do. But this is where the back and forth of legislating those checks and balances we say we love, this is where they really come into fruition, and then they can stop something from progressing. They can dilute it, water it down, but Republicans are united behind trying to get something passed, a big reconciliation bill passed, and now they have the House bill that passed early this morning as a vehicle to start their negotiations on the Senate side.
Well, someone once said that Democrats fall in love and Republicans fall in line. Do you think the president will get the key support that he needs to move his big, beautiful bill forward and across the finish line?
That's the literally trillion-dollar question here, is that he's using all of the powers of the office. And in fact, not only did he come up to Capitol Hill, but he brought a big group of holdout or on the fence conservatives in the House over to the White House, and all records indicate that he gave them, let's just say, a pretty stern talking to, saying that this is a loyalty test for you members, that if you cross me now, then you can forever forget about my support. In fact, we're going to try to kick you out of the party. And this is a president talking to members of his own party, so you can imagine what he thinks about the other side. So everything is tried to get, they put a lot of eggs in this reconciliation, big, beautiful bill basket. that they've tacked on everything, knowing that just procedurally that this is the one way to get a lot of what they want. They're going after it full core, which is why you're seeing everyone try to rally behind this, from the president to the speaker to the Senate Majority Leader. Now they got to get members online to pass it too. And that's the main question right now, is do they have enough support to get it done?
Professor Burgat, thank you so very much for joining us in Capitol Review.
Absolutely, anytime.